as an Australian man in his mid 20s, it's like virtually impossible for me to even consider the thought of being able to buy a home in Australia. Just with the way that the rising cost of living is and how expensive everything is becoming, it's so hard even just to get by, right? It's like living paycheck to paycheck, which makes it so hard to save money to even afford to put a deposit down on a home. So that's basically not an option anymore, right? There's significantly less people in their mid 20s getting into the property market, and it's becoming so saturated, so expensive, and just an unrealistic dream essentially for a lot of people in their mid 20s. So what I decided to do instead, I had an office job about 2 years ago, and I decided that I would start applying for remote jobs. And I managed to get a couple remote jobs, and I packed my bags up, quit my office job, and I've been traveling around Asia for the last 2 years, just living like a king. Because over here, you can live a great quality of life for less than $2,000 per month. And that includes like extras as well, like being able to have a massage every week and, going to spas and saunas and going out, eating out like every day. Like these luxuries that you could never afford in Australia on a basic wage. And it's crazy to me how frustrating the lifestyle was in Australia, where you had to live paycheck to paycheck and never have any leftover money to afford the things you want to do in life. Like, I don't want to live a boring life. I want to go out and be able to go out to dinner and take my girlfriend out to dinner and go to a spa, go to a sauna, get a massage, like go do experiences, go to the movies. Like I want to be able to do these things, and it's very hard to be able to do those things in Australia when you're just kind of living paycheck to paycheck in a sense. And it's only going to get worse. Like the cost of living isn't going down. It's only going to increase going up. So I'm just so blessed and so grateful that I took the leap of faith to quit my office job and go remote so that I was able to travel the world and just have a better quality of life. Like it's been really enjoyable to just kind of travel around and see different places and just have cool experiences, meet new people, and just have fun. Like we're young, and I think now's the time to do that while you're in your mid 20s. It's the perfect time to go and travel and experience the world. And just finding a way to do it where you can work remotely from anywhere is kind of the easiest pathway to that, right? You don't need to go and start like some crazy business or side hustle or anything like that. It's really just about taking the skills you have and finding a remote job that matches up to that, right? Like, let's say for example, right now you're an accountant, right? All you would need to do is start applying for accounting roles that are remote, and that gives you the freedom to now be able to travel around and work from anywhere. So that's the beauty of remote work, and it also allows you access to more opportunities, because if you're only able to kind of access the job market in your local area, it gives you kind of limited options in terms of what you actually do for work. So you could probably find a job that you actually enjoy a lot more if you look into the remote market, right? And that's really what I've kind of based my whole life around, is just like working remotely and being able to live out of a suitcase and travel around and not have any stress and worries, not have a mortgage hanging over my head, not having like debt for cars and crazy things like that. I just live like so nice, you know. Um, and so yeah, I feel really sorry for a lot of the men who are stuck in Australia in their mid 20s. They want to have more freedom, but they're not quite sure how. And I'm seeing a lot of these like gurus and influencers promoting all these like different business opportunities, like starting a marketing agency, getting into drop shipping and all this stuff. But honestly, all you need to do is just get a couple skills and be able to work remotely. And now you have quite a nice lifestyle of freedom, essentially. So it doesn't have to be this difficult grind to build a business or to learn these crazy side hustles. I think it can be a lot simpler. And that's really what the message of this whole YouTube channel is all about, is like working smarter instead of harder. So one thing that I've been doing in my remote jobs is actually like hiring team members under me so that I can work less. And so I hire virtual assistants from the Philippines, very affordable, and pay them a really good wage in their country. And that allows me to work significantly less in the jobs that I have, which gives me more free time to enjoy this lifestyle of traveling around and experiencing places. And yeah, just like working smarter instead of harder, you know? I feel like I've just heard so many stories of people who have grinded their whole life, worked like 30, 40 years in the same job or the same business, and just getting by in Australia, you know? And that's not the life I want. I want to get ahead, you know? I want to experience this world. I want to have fun. I want to enjoy the world. And yeah, if that's something you resonate with, like, you're my kind of people, you know? Like the people who want to stay in a job for 30, 40 years, do the same thing day in, day out just to pay the bills. Why? Why do you want to do that? Like, that is not life. There is so much more to experience. And it can be so much more simple than people make it out to be. So, yeah, I'm so glad I guess you call it escape the matrix or whatever you want to call it. I got out of the system in Australia. It's just, Australia is a beautiful country, don't get me wrong. There is amazing healthcare. We have a lot of benefits as citizens in Australia. And I'm very grateful for my country compared to in other places I could be a citizen of. However, it's just not a lifestyle that I want to be living where I'm stuck living paycheck to paycheck because the cost of just general living expenses is through the freaking roof. So yeah, that's my little rant, little speech on this. Um, yeah, if you kind of want bit of support with like finding remote work and making that transition to being able to do that, happy to give you some guidance. It's probably best to connect with me on Facebook. That's where I'm most active. If you want to have a quick chat on Messenger, happy to kind of walk you through how you can take the skills you have and find some remote work so you can start traveling and just, yeah, experiencing these different places, you know, and seeing if you like it. Like, you know, maybe you travel to Thailand, to Bali, to Vietnam, you know, like I'm in Da Nang, Vietnam at the moment. Um, you know, maybe you travel to these places and you work out like, hey, this isn't the life I want. That's cool. Like it's at least worth having that experience, right? And even for the people like, I'm not just speaking to people who are in their mid 20s. Like this is also great for, you know, mothers and fathers of families who are like wanting to provide for their family and get ahead financially by taking on remote work. And, you know, if you do start to outsource your workload as well, you can actually take on a second role. And so that allows you to earn two full-time paychecks at the same time, which can give you that like leg up you need to get ahead financially, right? And that's another great way to go about it. Like if you do have a family and you don't want to travel around the world, like you just want more free time and more income, I think this is one of the easiest ways to do it without starting a business and a side hustle, you know? So yeah, there's that. I post a lot of like other videos on this channel talking about this stuff because I love remote work and leverage and hiring virtual assistants. Like this is what I'm all about. So yeah, feel free to check out more videos of that. But Australia is just very broken right now, and I'm not sure if it can be fixed. And yeah, even if it does get fixed, I'm not sure I even want to go back to Australia. I just, it's so much fun living this like digital nomad life, you know. And maybe one day I'll get sick of it. Maybe one day I'll have a family and want to settle down a bit in one place, and maybe that will be Australia. Maybe it will be somewhere else in the world. Who knows? But for now, I'm gonna enjoy this lifestyle and show others how they can do the same. And yeah, that's it. If you watched this far, thank you for watching. If you're stuck in Australia, get some remote work, break free. That's the secret. But yeah, thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.